Before we break down the latest news and rumors around your Miami Dolphins, we will be live once again for a Dolphins-Texans watch party. This time, it'll only be on our Dolphins channel. No simulcasting, so no more me having to play nice to the opposing fans watching. Instead, we can be a little mean to them. Type me if you're going to be tuned in and having some fun with us this Saturday. We begin with the end of a long and drawn-out, and I know for many annoying process of Dalvin Cook. He has finally picked a team, signing with the New York Jets, getting a one-year, $7 million deal with incentives that could carry that deal up to $8.6 million. So for all the public flirting Dalvin Cook and his agency were doing with the Miami Dolphins, he ends up signing with the Jets, and he did get the kind of number that I suspected he was trying to get, which was the same or more than what James Conner made. In fact, Dalvin Cook, even on a one-year deal, actually got the biggest contract non-franchise tag of any running back this offseason, although he did take about a $4 or $5 million pay cut, which was to be expected after a season in which he continued to show signs of decline, with his average dropping from 5 to 4.7 to 4.4, where Dalvin Cook is still a good player. But I also have some doubts about whether or not $7 million for him is a worthwhile contract. And we know the Dolphins clearly weren't going to go that high. So now that we know what the contract looked like for Dalvin Cook, would you have done that deal if you were the Dolphins? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off for me in the comments section. Would you have given the exact same deal the Jets gave Dalvin Cook if you ran the Miami Dolphins? Now, for me, $7 million is kind of on the high end of what I'd be okay paying Dalvin Cook. And frankly, my interest has waned after what we've seen so far from other backs in camp. I thought Myles Gaskin actually looked pretty good in the opening preseason game. I am very excited about De'Von Achane, who I think is going to be an explosive piece for this Dolphins ground game. We know that Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson combined can get you roughly similar numbers than what Dalvin Cook would get you by himself, and at not even the same combined salary. So I would not have been mad if the Dolphins went out and acquired Dalvin Cook. I also don't think they're in dire straits of needing one, which is why I am surprised to see Fansided and others continuing to push the idea that the Dolphins need a running back, that they have to go find somebody else, and that the interest in Cook wasn't because Cook is just a good player and maybe there's value there, and more of the Dolphins need a back when they've got 5 guys who I think could be rostered if you had to, 6 if you want to throw in Chris Brooks. Today's pinned comment, then we'll get to the 3 names mentioned by Fansided and others we've seen throughout the last couple weeks. Does Miami need to sign another back? 1 for yes, 0 for no. It's the pinned comment, so go vote, especially if the ad comes here on YouTube. Now, there were 3 names that were mentioned in the latest Fansided gotta sign him piece. Rex Burkhead, Leonard Fournette, and Kareem Hunt. And there are correctly differing interest levels in all 3 of these guys right now across the NFL. Rex Burkhead is a pass catcher. He has not offered you anything over the course of his time as a runner. He can catch passes. That's it. Leonard Fournette was once a top 10 pick. He was so good. He's so big. He's so fast. And he is allegedly out of shape, by the way, which is classic Lenny. And also has been a career 4-yard per carry guy and was bad last year. Kareem Hunt, meanwhile, has been good at times and also took visits to the Saints and Colts and didn't sign there in the end. Maybe he wants a bit too much money. Who knows? These guys do offer some nice third down pass-catching value. But I will also make note that you have that, I think, in De'Von Achane. That you have the ability to find a piece who can be a pass-catching threat for you and offer more juice, which is what I crave. I want explosive plays. I know Mike McDaniel wants explosive plays in the ground game. Achane can do that. I don't think the 2023 versions of Rex Burkhead, Leonard Fournette, Kareem Hunt bring that at this stage. Now, we can always change our mind in the event of injury, and if there are injuries or the Dolphins sign somebody, we will have you guys covered. If you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed at youtube.com/Dolphins News. We'll be live again this Saturday for the Dolphins preseason game. We'll have videos each day leading up to it for you, as well as we cover everything going on around the Miami Dolphins. A more intriguing name out there is Dalton Risner. I was mean to Fansided last time. Now I'll be nicer. Miami still has uncertainty along the offensive line, as many teams do. You will find the more you pay close attention to other fan bases, not that most of you guys do, but I have to, it's my job. Offensive line and depth is like a concern for all but about 2 teams in the NFL, which is why it is weird that Dalton Risner, a starter last year for the Denver Broncos, has not found a team as we reach the midpoint of August. And the left guard spot, which is currently a battle between Liam Eichenberg, Isaiah Wynn, maybe some Lester Cotton and or Robert Jones, they're probably more right guard battlers at this point, is the biggest uncertainty. And the depth at guard, and maybe right tackle too, which Risner cannot help you, are all things that go, maybe that's a little bit dicey. Maybe we don't like where that currently sits, which is why I think the Dolphins and a long list of teams, as long as the money's not ridiculous, should have interest in Dalton Risner. Maybe he doesn't start for you, but he could probably be a decent backup option, or at least some added depth at a spot where you always need more of it. So pick a left guard to start. You want to go get a new guy? That's DR for Dalton Risner. Want to go with the previous option, the previous starter? LE for Liam Eichenberg. Or do you want to go with the newest Dolphin at that spot, which is Isaiah Wynn? Go vote in the comment section. Here are the numbers for each of these 3 players over the past season. Dalton Risner, hurries were high, PFF run grade was low. You know, Sean Payton got in trouble for really ripping into the Broncos offense, not because he was wrong, but because he said the quiet part out loud. And I think that was a big issue for teams. I thought he was right. I thought the Broncos offense was a dumpster fire last year. So I'm going to be okay giving a break to Dalton Risner not being nearly as impactful. Eichenberg, look, there is still some untapped development. I'm on board with all of that stuff, but the Dolphins don't have time to give him time. They have to win games right now. They can't have a giant weak point at left guard and be like, well, maybe he'll be better next year type of deal. It's a big reason why they brought in Isaiah Wynn. And I would lean towards Wynn being the guy there. I think his skill set fits well at guard. He was playing well in New England and then kind of fell into the Bill Belichick doghouse. Never a fun spot to be. So that is certainly a valid concern for the Dolphins, but I think Wynn would be a fun addition as a starter, I should say, in Miami. And you can get this awesome NFL Jam t-shirt, Dolphins fans. Just so you guys remember NBA Jam. I know you're too young for that, producer Chris. NFL Blitz, are you too young for that too? Geez, now I'm the old guy. Anyway, you can get yours at chatsports.com/DolphinsJam. Tyreek Hill to a tongue of Iloa, as I tongue twister myself over it, and Dan Marino in the NFL Blitz version. It is available at chatsports.com/DolphinsJam. Again, that link will be in both the comment section and the description of today's show. A trade rumor to wrap things up here on Andrew Van Ginkel. So Bleacher Report named one player for each team, or one player each NFL team should trade, and they picked Andrew Van Ginkel, who was, of course, re-signed this offseason by the Dolphins. Doable to trade him, not to cut him. His deal's fully guaranteed. $2.65 million fully guaranteed contract. Dolphins would save some money in the event they tried to trade him. Now, a team would give the Dolphins something for him, Bleacher Report wrote, and it makes sense for Miami to make the move, seeing as he projects to have a limited role in the fall and is going to be a free agent again in the spring, which is true. I would say, yes, that's what a backup is. That's why you re-signed him, to be a backup. And you're not paying him big money either, but we'll go more in depth on this here. What would you do with Andrew Van Ginkel? K for you'd keep him. T for you would trade him, knowing there's some inside-outside linebacker flex there. Sound off for me in the comment section right now. Van Ginkel's numbers did dip last year. I think maybe more along the lines of what to expect this season, where I think he was playing a bit too much in 2021, but he was a fun inside-outside chess piece. And if he's like your edge 4-ish, you're probably in fine shape. And we'll throw Emmanuel Ogbah on there, knowing he can play some edge and DE, so it's kind of a hybrid role there too. Maybe if Malik Reed or Mitchell Agude really wow, then you could maybe try to shop someone, but you're probably going to play Ogbah some at defensive end. You know, you could always give Van Ginkel some inside linebacker reps if Channing Tindall is still slow to come along. So I have no problems keeping him. You're not paying him that much money. You don't save a massive figure either. I would be okay simply keeping Van Ginkel on this Dolphins team. But in the event that trades happen, we will have you guys covered. Make sure you're subscribed to us here at Dolphins Today.